One of the great things about using AI, particularly for presentations, is that you can create wonderful images, but there's times it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating and really, you're wanting to go slap it and stop it. Well, we're going to show you how to do that with some real world experiences that we have done and putting this together to make sure that you can see how to do it and how to make this thing come together in a beautiful way. And to do that, I'm joined by the lovely and charming Gina Carr. Gina, thanks for being with us today to talk about these graphics, because you've been doing some things with them. What do you see are some of the advantages that content creators have in creating images with AI?
It's just so amazing to be able to put in my thoughts and have images that are created that look amazing, things that I would have spent a lot of money with graphics designers in the past. And while I hope the graphics designers are finding new jobs and able to employ AI in what they're doing, it's just so much faster and easier for me to be able to create these images on my own. And I'm really happy with the technology. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I think there's some real benefits on what we can do. And so what I want to show you, dear viewer, dear listener, is what we can do. Now, those of you that are joining us on audio, say on our podcast or so, if you can, you might want to bounce over and see the video on this one. We're going to be particularly on video, but you'll still gain a lot listening to just the audio alone. So what I want to do is show you something that I did. This is on Google Docs, and it's something I copied and pasted in from ChatGPT. What I did is I found this prompt right here. You see where it says, here's the prompt I gave ChatGPT, where I was looking at a big, magnificent medieval kingdom on top of a hill. Well, the place I got that was where I was looking at someone talking about Midjourney. Midjourney is a tool, an AI tool, that is really known as one of the best of putting together your own images and creating them. It is a little bit complicated. There is a learning curve to it. You do need to work with it on Discord. And so that means you got a few extra little layers. You can still do a lot of it with ChatGPT. And that's the whole point of this. Because what I did is I took this prompt, which was available in a public place, where you see where it says, create a big and magnificent medieval kingdom on top of a tall mountain, vast landscape, meadow, et cetera, et cetera. And all of that was there. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to say, okay, I'm going to take that and I'm going to copy it into ChatGPT so that DALL-E 3 can do that. And so it came in there, and then it told me this was the picture. It came in and says, this was from a Midjourney prompt I saw, put that in there. And then it came in and it said, this is the picture that was generated. And it shows me this. Let me make that just a little bit bigger so you can see that. And Gina, that's a nice little picture, I think. As you take a look at this, what are your thoughts on it?
Oh, I think it's quite beautiful. It's a lovely castle. If I were a fairy princess, I would certainly want to live in a castle like that.
Yeah.
I think it's gorgeous. I love all the details, the mountains, the stream, the small temple or castle or something else that's right in front of it. It's hard to tell. Here, I'm kind of reminded of the movie Shrek. I am seeing images that would remind me of something in Shrek.
Yeah, exactly. And let's take a look at it here again. That mount right there, you'll see it's got all of that. It does look a little bit like Shrek. I like that. With a good video there. But you see, the whole point is what we can do with this now is, and the point that we're showing you, you might be thinking, well, I'm not going to be making a mountain and a medieval thing. Yeah, we don't do that much either. Our presentations are for business. But here's the real key. You can get the prompts that others have created in other places like Midjourney, like Stable Diffusion, like Canva, like Lexica Art, all of these that are available. And if you don't know about those, stay with us. We're going to show you how you can get access to some of those for free, how you'll be able to get them and start using. We've got a guide set up for you to walk you through it hand or step by step, holding your hand. There we go. We hold your hand and we go step by step. We're doing both that way so you can see the kinds of things that are available with it. But then it gets even better than that, because what we can do is, let me show you something that I did as well. As I did this graphic right here, then I went on and did some more. And the more is part here. Said here's, it showed me the oil painting. By the way, this is the feedback that it gave us. Here's the oil painting description of the magnificent medieval mountain with the tall mountains surrounded by the vast and serene landscape, et cetera, et cetera. Really nice. Then notice what I did here below it. I said, now create a prompt for me so that I can create an image of two business people, man and a woman, seated at a luncheon. Okay, so this is something we'd use regularly in business. They have their cell phones handy, but at talking with each other. See, I've even made an error there. I left that in there specifically just so you could see what it's like. Yeah, that was the reason I did that. Okay, so but they are talking with each other, and I want this to look like it's a professional photograph of two business people dressed in business casual clothing. What is the best prompt to use for that? And so then it created a detailed prompt for me. Look at what you can do. It created the right prompt. I let ChatGPT create its own prompt based on what I wanted. And it gave me this here, a professional photograph of two business people, man and woman seated at a luncheon table, yada, yada, yada. You get the idea. And all would be there. It said, now I want to take a look at that prompt to create the picture. And the prompt that I created, well, this is where it gets kind of amazing. Take a look at this. Here it is, and that might be just a little bit big. So let me zoom back a little bit here using Ecamm here so I can do all this for you. See, I'm just showing you all the tools I'm using. And there we are. We've got a man and a woman. Looks like they're at a professional situation. You can see the cell phone there on the table. And I'm thinking that looks pretty good. It's got some real advantages to it, but also there could be a little bit of a challenge as I look at that particularly. Gina, what do you see? You and I talked about this a little bit before. When you look at that graphic of those people right there, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's quite a handsome couple. And I think it looks like they might be a little more interested in one another than they are in whatever the business issue that's going on. They look a little friendly.
Yeah, they are a little bit friendly, which is nothing wrong with that because that's good. Gina, you and I are in business and we're engaged. And so we're in a relationship. We think that's a good thing. There's a place for that. But it's like you can look at what's in their eyes. I'm going to go, okay, yeah, there could be more. And so my whole point on that is, hey, this is something that is good, but it might not be as appropriate for business to communicate the message you want. Because I know what would happen if I were to take that picture and put it up just as I'm talking about business people need to work together and we need to accomplish our goals and all the business things you say when you're doing a business presentation. I got a feeling the people out there are human beings. They are. And they're going to look at it and go, hey, it looks like there's something going on there. And their mind is going away from the message I'm trying to give. And so what I wanted to do is I needed to change that. So here's what I did and what you can do in a situation. I want you to kind of read between the lines on this. Notice what we are doing here, what Gina and I are showing and what we've done, and how you can start using this in your own prompts and making that a little bit different. So what I did is I came back here. It gave me the title, the thing said, here's the professional photograph, of the business people, man and a woman, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, that's good. But here's what I came back with. Notice this. I said, that looks good, but looks like more of a romantic connection between them. I see the blurred background you have, so keep that. I love the look of objects on the table, so keep that. Their clothing is perfect, so keep that. Just change the look on their faces so it looks more business-like, and you notice I put that in quotes, than romantic. I look forward to seeing your next creation. Do it again. And so all those words that I put in there are the kind of style you can use. This is how you can design your prompts. You design the prompt and you go through several iterations. It's not just a one-time thing. We're used to Google. We're typing in something like, what is the capital of France? And then it comes back with the answer, Paris is the capital of France. Okay, well, that's good. We get one answer and it comes back. With ChatGPT, with AI, tools like Perplexity, like others that are out there that we're using right now, Claude 3 Sonnet, Claude 3 Opus, other tools like that, you want to go through several iterations. And so when I went through the next iteration, it gave me a little bit different. I want you to take a look at this right here. Gina, I want to get your feel on this as well. Here's the next one. I'll make this a little bit smaller here so you can see more of the whole thing. There it is. You'll see the business table. It looks like there's a cell phone on the table and and then a notebook. You can see they're having lunch and it looks like they're serious. Okay. They might like each other. We don't know, but it's a much more business-like orientation. At least that's what it looks like to me. Gina, what are your thoughts on this particular picture?
Yes, they look very serious, like serious business people. And if there is anything going on romantically, it's not as obvious or as evident as it was in the original photo. So that looks really good.
Yeah, I think so. And that's the key, is that we can do that. And so the whole point of this is you want to have several iterations and also ask ChatGPT to create a prompt for you that does this and fill it out a little bit more. You can do that. There are other tools like Prompt Perfect, Write that down. Prompt perfect, which gives you the ability to take your message and then it multiplies it for you. It goes around to other AI tools and finds a way to enhance that prompt that you have so you can get a far better quality result. I use that often on ChatGPT. I paid, I think, a priestly sum of $30 for a year to get it. Well worth it. And it gives you a lot of capabilities there. But that's one way to do it. Using ChatGPT itself can do a lot with it. And so these are the kind of tools that you'll be able to have with it and have some fun. So we were just playing around. I was doing this and I wanted to see how we can do that. And by the way, you can find out more about this. Got to let you know right here. And before we get out of here, we got some more goodies for you here. Bounce over to starkravingentrepreneurs.com and you'll be able to see even more that we've got for you and how you can start learning about perfecting these prompts and making it exactly what's going to work for you. Well, Gina, I know that you also have created some tools. You did some things for a client that you're working with in the home health care and psychological care methods that you did. Tell us a little bit about that. As you were telling me before, I was very fascinated. I think our folks would like to hear from you on that.
Okay, yes. Well, in the agency side of our business, we have a client called eHome Counseling, and they do video mental health counseling for people around the country, and it's very convenient and safe, and they just do a lot of wonderful work helping people with their mental health. And so I was working in LinkedIn. We just started a LinkedIn newsletter for the page for the business. And let me show you the first article that we have published and the image that we created using ChatGPT. The DALL-E part of, well, it's just ChatGPT 4.0. Okay, so this particular article was about celebrating true freedom. It was published right after July 4th here in the US, which is Freedom Day. And so it's celebrating true freedom, why business leaders should prioritize mental health counseling. And this one was written with the perspective of to employers who might want to bring mental health counseling in as a benefit to their employees, to their team members. And I needed a graphic for it. So I wrote it with my information as well as with using some AI tools, but I needed an image. So I took the article, and this is the image that I received. I took the article and put it into ChatGPT. My prompt was quite simple. Create 2 images I can use to go with the following article. And I just pasted the entire article in here. And it gave
Gina,
me
let me
this
interrupt you for a moment there. What you're saying, I think, is amazing. You took the whole article, fed it in there, and then ChatGPT came up with a good solution. That is wonderful.
Right. I didn't give it a lot of prompting, really. And I'm pretty happy with the image that it created. Now, I did ask it to change it. Can you recreate this with the dimensions of 1920 by 1080? It gave me a similar article, but it looks like the guy's died and going to heaven. So that's not good. Well, at least that's the way it looks to me. Maybe it's not.
Yeah,
But
I think it kind of looks that way. It's okay, but maybe you could use that in some settings, but probably not in the professional setting where you needed it.
and it's certainly not a 1920 by 1080. It looks like it's more like a 1080 by 1080. It's a square versus a rectangle. And for LinkedIn newsletters, we need a nice rectangular post. So this didn't work very well. But I then went back and said, please give me 5 additional images based on the same article. Please create them in square format with 1080 by 1080 pixels, because I want to use these on our social media in other ways, pulling excerpts from that article. And some of these are okay. None of them, well, maybe a couple appear to be in the square format that I wanted. Definitely this one's more rectangular. This one's more rectangular. These 2 might be kind of square. So
Which 2 are you talking about? We don't see these 2 or those 2. Which ones are those?
I'm sorry. The bottom ones look like they're a little bit square, more square than the top ones. Okay. So I thought these were pretty good. I'm happy with them. I'm certainly glad that I can create custom art like that I can use for my client. And I think these tools are amazing and powerful and so easy to use, so fast. It's really great.
Absolutely. Well, Gina, thank you for sharing that. I think it's important. And for those of you watching this, think about what you can do with this now. Taking these pictures, you create them with your words, either speaking it in there or as Gina did with an article. Take the whole article, the whole dang thing, put it in there, and then have ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude 3 with Sonnet. Sonnet's particularly good right now. And it can create just the right articles for you, pull out the right keywords, all of this that can be very helpful. So we're going to be talking to you more about how you can use this, and it helps to set you apart so that you can create those pictures without the frustration, just knowing that, okay, we're going to have to go through a few iterations on it. So you can start doing that and really taking it to the next level. I think we're on to something really big. Gina, any final words before we move along?
I would just encourage you to try it. It's not going to hurt you. You can't really break anything. And just get out there, play around with it, give it a try, and do what if you don't know what to say, do your best to describe something, what you're looking for, and then do what Terry said of give me a prompt to get a good image for this.
Absolutely. And that's going to be the key. So think about that. And you're going to find out more about that. We got some extra resources for you. Don't run away right now. Hang on just a minute because we got some. You're going to be glad you stuck around here, because if you go over to starkravingentrepreneurs.com, you'll find out about how we can help you with this in a practical way, put it together. And we got this free gift for you, AItoolsforbiz.com. That's all in lowercase. And the 4 is the number 4. AItoolsforbiz.com. And you're going to find out about not only this, but other tools for graphics that you can use, like lexica.art. You're going to be able to find out about OpenAI's tools that they have for DALL-E 3, a great little one, Stable Diffusion, and other tools that are going to be very helpful, like Udly for learning how to speak better and to let AI help you be a better speaker, which, hey, I want to get better. And you'll see we got a QR code right here for you as well. I know you got your cell phone with you, so you can just grab that real quick. You can freeze the frame here for a moment. I'll wait. Okay, you can go ahead and do that. Yeah, at AI Tools for Biz, it'll work just fine. And we've got some more goodies for you as well. Come on in and take a look at some other videos we've got here that can help you enormously in many different ways. I'm Terry Brock, joined by Gina Carr. We appreciate you being with us today.